Well, Gator is back from the Appalachian Trail, and we are full-fledged back into planning. Actually, I have not been back an entire week yet. Well, wait, a week as of yesterday. So, we've been in the RV now. We've been living in Ruff Road for a year and 3 months. So we had to do some fall cleaning. Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Gary.
And we are Ruff Road RV Life.
We like looking at freedom.
Yes, we do.
Well, we retired. We sold our home. We moved out of our house. We actually sold our house to our daughter, which is also now our home base. That was part of the deal. And we have our 2 dogs, and we've been living in the RV for about 1.5 years now, full time. And we are currently sitting in Florida right now.
That's right, because it got cold up north. Today we are sharing more purging and organizing in our RV. It seems to be an ongoing process, because it seems to be RV life. It seems to be a way of life in the RV.
And we've made a prior video as to the effects of purging our house, but it was a purge from our house and into the RV. And then while we're in the RV, you purge, and then you purge again, and then you purge again. So while we were sitting here now during the holiday months, we looked around and said, you know what? Let's just go through all of our cabinets again and reallocate space, get rid of stuff we don't need, put stuff where maybe it should be better that we can get to it without having to move 5 things to get to one. Maybe we can only move 2 or 3 things to get to one. And then go to the outside of our coach and do the same thing with the outside bays.
Right, and this was one of our to-do lists before we actually hit the road. We made a list of all the things. We've done a lot of things, but we have some things to do as it's getting closer and closer. And I'm back home now, and the trail is behind me. But that was one of the things that we needed to do. And we set out to do it, and we'll just work on a little bit each day. And we'll take a cabinet at a time.
But the problem was that when we emptied one cabinet, well, we wanted to put stuff from that cabinet into another cabinet, and then we wanted to put stuff from that cabinet into another cabinet, so we wound up, with multiple cabinets being emptied at the same time. So it just turned into, well, this is an all-day thing here, so it wasn't a little bit at a time. It was a day and a piece project doing that.
So I guess one of the benefits of living in an RV is, if we were doing this in our home, it truly would have been a very long process.
Yeah.
But living in an RV, we took one day and did the inside, up in our coach area, our galley area, and our living area, and the next day we did the outside. And what we found was we gained, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I figure about 4 extra cabinet spaces like this, just by simply purging and getting rid of stuff that we didn't need. And if you remember, when we moved in in a hurry. So it was like 2 weeks that was it like 2 weeks?
Something
Yeah, 2
like
weeks we
that.
had to move in. And I'd tried to go through stuff as we came in, but like some of our appliance manuals and things like that we had in a binder, we didn't even have those appliances anymore. So we had missed some of those. So we ended up throwing out, what was it, 5 bags of garbage from the inside? 5 bags of trash. I couldn't believe that. But that was just paperwork that we didn't need, things we had electronically, so we didn't need a paper copy of it. Manuals, we had some manuals, and it was just stuff that had accumulated too. So 5 bags of garbage from the inside, from the cabinets, and from the outside, we had one trash bag, and then we ended up with a donation tote. So we really felt good after doing that, because even though we had purged and thought we were doing really good, when we really went through each cabinet and each bay, we discovered that we could do better.
And what we have learned over the past year is that we do donation. We first of all, the kids really don't want your stuff, and they took handfuls of what they wanted. So if you ever go to do this, don't expect your kids to come rushing to the house, loading up their trucks and taking all the stuff away. Because, well, that didn't happen with us, and we tried the garage sale in the past, and we did a video on that, and that didn't work that well. So from now on, so what we do, we load it up in the boxes or bags, and we take it over to Habitat for Humanity. It's the place that we use, and we donate it there. But you can do it.
It is a long and ongoing, and you know what? We're going to go through this again.
Yeah.
I did my closet right before I went hiking. I was gone for, 3 months or something like that. Gary did his closet while I was hiking. I'm looking in my closet now thinking, I probably need to get in there again, because I think I could do better. I think I could get rid of some. Purging and organizing, it is ongoing. And as I look around the RV right now, and it was looking so good a week ago, and we have things put away, but it's like stuff seems to accumulate on you. When you lose it, though, or purge it, you feel so much better. And let me tell you, we felt great. We got some things up off the floor, up in the cabinets. I now have my own craft cabinet. Our tool cabinet is much more organized. My VCR, where I'm digitizing tapes, is up, out of the way. I love that. You were going to say?
Yeah, well, along the way, too, when we were doing this, we were also taking a look at what we had and deciding, is this still going to work? And like we have dog pens that we set outside for our 2 dogs. Well, there's a difference in them between when they're a year old and when they're 2 years old. You know, they're now 65-pound dogs, so we thought, well, I think we're going to need a little bit taller pen for them now. So we ordered taller pens for them, and then rearranged the bay in order to fit the taller pens in there.
Another thing that we realized is that when we put everything away, we had a plan that we thought made sense. But then as time went by, you see things that you use more often, or use this with this more often, and you know, there was a more logical way to store our items. So that's what we did when we went in and reorganized everything. We put things where they made sense to us now, whereas when we moved in, we didn't know, because we'd never lived in an RV or had this situation before. But now we know, oh, these are the tools we use all the time.
We live in a Class A motorhome, in case you're wondering what type of RV we're in.
Right. These are what we need when we get set up, and we have gone on trips, so we've had some practice with setting up and taking down. But it just, after you've been in it for a little while, you see that your needs change, or your things that you need to get to. And I'm sure 6 months from now, we'll be looking at it and saying, hey, this would be better over here, and this would be better over here. So it's just an ongoing process, but we're enjoying it. And trust me, and when I say this, if anyone had told me we would still be here, and I know I've said it before, I wouldn't have believed that I would be as happy as I am. But even sitting here stationary, we are working out all the kinks, and that's a good thing. And plus we get the benefit of still going on trips every now and then, but we do have our launch date coming up. Hey, we are working today on Operation Get Ready to Really Hit the Road, even though we've been living in Ruff Road for a year and 3 months. So we are making repairs and reorganizing and purging again, because we've had a good solid year in here, and we see now what we could do better. So, just as a warning, if you're married or you have a significant other you're traveling with, just give each other a hug when you start, because these days can sometimes end up in just a little bit of a squabble. But not always. Right, honey? Right, honey? Honey?
What?
Right. After 2 rain showers and stopping and going, we have a tote full of trash, and that chair is broke. We have these storage bins to go back to the shed. We didn't get to paint the fence or inside the 2 bins because of the rain. But we finished. This is just drying out. We finished all of these bins and feel pretty good about what we did.
Yes,
right.
I do feel pretty good.
All right.
A lot of rearranging, but much more organized.
Yes. I would rate today successful.
Again.
Join us on our journey to freedom and living the RV life.
And I look forward to our next video, which I believe is going to be called Fun with Fuses. As I've had my eye twitch for about a week and a half now with fuses in the RV and all the electrical systems. Well, I don't want to get into it now, but just look forward to the next one called, I think it's going to be called Fun with Fuses.
Fun with Fuses, and yes. Don't think that you're going to retire and not have to use your brain, because we have become super duper detectives.
Because I don't know that they use their brain when they put these together.
I know. It's been fun. We'll share that later. All right. Have a good day. We love looking at freedom.